Alright, let's talk about the Norwegian Elkhound, a dog so tough, so independent, and so ridiculously confident that if it had opposable thumbs, it would probably run for office. Now, before we go any further, let's address the name. Norwegian Elkhound. Sounds cool, right? Like a dog that hunts elk. Wrong. This dog is from Norway, that part's true, but it doesn't hunt elk. Nope. It hunts moose. You know, the 1,500-pound forest monster that looks like a horse, but somehow meaner. How did we mess that up? Somewhere along the way, someone translated el, which means moose in Norwegian, into elk, and now we've got a whole breed of dog with an identity crisis. So just remember it's a moose hound, not an elkhound. But honestly, this dog is so fiercely independent, it probably doesn't care what you call it, as long as you say it with respect. 1. The look. A wolf in a fur coat. If you've never seen a Norwegian Elkhound before, imagine a wolf who got a job as a professional bodyguard and takes it very seriously. They've got that dense silver gray coat, those sharp, intelligent eyes, and that curly tail that basically acts as a built-in exclamation point for every emotion they feel. They walk around like they own the place because in their mind, they do. You may have signed the mortgage papers, but the Elkhound, they run the kingdom. And let's talk about their size. They're medium dogs, but they don't know that. Norwegian Elkhounds have the confidence of a dog 3 times their size. I've seen Elkhounds challenge animals they have no business challenging because in their mind, they are Viking warriors, and fear is just an outdated concept. 2. The personality. Independent but also your boss. You ever meet someone who just naturally takes charge? Like, they don't even ask to be in charge, they just step into the room, and suddenly everyone is following them. That's a Norwegian Elkhound. They were bred to track and corner moose, which means they were designed to think on their own. You don't tell an Elkhound what to do. You negotiate. Sit. Maybe. If I feel like it. Come here. I'll think about it. Stop barking. Absolutely not. Elkhounds love to bark. Why? Because Vikings needed loud dogs to keep track of game in the wilderness. And even though there's probably no moose in your backyard, your Elkhound hasn't gotten the memo. If a leaf falls 2 streets away, bark. If a squirrel looks at your house funny, bark. If the wind blows in a suspicious manner, bark. But that independence, that stubborn streak, that's what makes them so incredibly smart. They don't just follow orders blindly. They assess the situation, calculate risk, and then do whatever they were going to do anyway. 3. The history. This dog has more Viking cred than you do. Norwegian Elkhounds have been around for thousands of years. We're talking about a breed that sailed with Vikings, hunted with Norse warriors, and probably judged them when they made bad battle decisions. These dogs weren't just hunting companions, they were protectors, herders, and all-around survivalists. They lived in the freezing cold, tracked giant animals, and somehow still had time to make their human feel inferior. Think about it. While your ancestors were figuring out how to start a fire, the Elkhound was out in the woods, handling business, and coming back home like, oh, you guys are still on fire making. Cute. 4. The energy levels. Hope you like exercise. You ever meet a dog that wakes up ready to run a marathon? That's an Elkhound. They don't just like exercise, they need it. Because in their DNA, they're supposed to be tracking moose for miles through the snow in Norway. So if you don't give them something to do, oh boy. A bored Elkhound is a destructive Elkhound. You don't want that. You really don't. They'll rearrange your furniture, but with their teeth. Turn your yard into a dig site. Congratulations, you own an archaeological excavation now. Invent a game where you lose every time, because outsmarting you is their favorite hobby. Long walks? Required. Running? Ideal. Tired humans? Irrelevant. An Elkhound is ready to go at all times. Even when you're exhausted, lying on the couch, questioning your life choices, your Elkhound will drop a toy at your feet and stare at you like, we have important business to attend to, human. 5. The grooming. Fur, and more fur. If you bring a Norwegian Elkhound into your life, get ready to vacuum. A lot. Their double coat is like a fur-based weatherproof jacket, great for surviving Norwegian winters, terrible for your black couch. They shed constantly, but twice a year. Oh, twice a year is when the furpocalypse begins. You'll find hair everywhere. You'll question how one dog can produce this much fluff. And just when you think you've cleaned it all, another layer magically appears. 6. The loyalty. Your best friend, whether you like it or not. Elkhounds aren't just dogs. They're your personal security detail. They don't just love their humans, they worship them. They follow you everywhere. Bathroom, they're there. Kitchen, they're watching. Trying to have a private conversation. Not on their watch. They bond hard with their families. Once you've earned their trust, you are their person for life. No questions asked. They will protect you, love you, and occasionally judge you, but always with loyalty so deep, it feels like having a Viking warrior as a best friend. Final thoughts. Should you get a Norwegian Elkhound? Let's do a quick rundown. If you want a dog that is smart, sometimes too smart for its own good, independent, will challenge your authority daily, loyal, will follow you to the ends of the earth, athletic, will require more exercise than you're ready for, loud, because silence is apparently the enemy, fluffy, but also sheds like it's their life's mission, then congratulations. You may have just found your perfect dog. But be warned, this isn't a breed for the weak. The Norwegian Elkhound is a warrior, a protector, and a fluffy overlord all rolled into one. And once they claim you as their human, there's no turning back.